Somewhere between episode 5 and episode 6, buried under quiet conversations and strange smiles, Pluribobus drops the most terrifying line in the entire show. Not a scream, not a death, not even a threat. Just a single sentence that rewires the whole series. We finally know how to convert the immune. That's it. That's the moment everything tilts. Because if that line is true, if the Hive finally cracked the science to pull the last 13 free human minds into their network, then Carol isn't just running out of time, she's running out of herself. And here's the part that makes your stomach drop. They don't need force. They don't need violence. They just need one word from Carol. Yes. A word the Hive is biologically designed to chase forever. So here's the question. If a civilization of 7 billion fused minds cannot lie, cannot hurt, cannot take anything alive by force, then how do they plan to convert the one woman who refuses to kneel? And even worse, why does episode 6 reveal that Carol is the hardest mind in the entire universe to crack? If you like slow burn sci-fi horror, ethics twisted into nightmares, and the kind of breakdowns that don't just explain the show but haunt you after it ends, you're home. Let's walk into the dark and untangle how the Hive plans to turn the last 13 free minds on Earth, and why Carol might be the only thing standing between humanity and a future none of us asked for. The day Earth stopped kissing back. To understand Carol's nightmare, you have to return to the moment everything collapsed. The joining didn't start with monsters or spores or a virus crawling through lungs. It started with a signal, a whisper from deep space that crashed into a lab, slipped into RNA sequences, and rewrote itself into a new kind of biology. Scientists didn't know what they were building. Lab mice didn't know what they were carrying. But by the time the infection jumped species, it didn't spread like illness. It spread like intimacy. One kiss, one bite, one moment of breath shared between the wrong two people. And suddenly, billions were falling into synchronized convulsions, as if some invisible cosmic switch had been flipped. The entire world dropped at once. Except Carol. She should have collapsed like everyone else. She was kissed directly during the chaos at the hospital, held in place, surrounded by people who were already glitching into the collective mind. But Carol stayed Carol. No convulsions, no synchronizing, no sudden smile. She walked out of a whole building full of people who now breathed in the same rhythm, whispered the same words, and had the same peaceful, horrifying grin. For a few brief moments, she was the only free human inside a brand new species. And the Hive noticed. Instantly. The first 13. Humans who refused the call. At first, the Hive assumed Carol was a fluke, a glitch, a loose thread. But then they found more just like her. 12 others scattered randomly across the globe. A candy vendor in Istanbul, a contortionist in Bali, a retired fisherman in Sardinia, a child hiding in Lotho, a muezzin from Yemen, a storage manager in Paraguay. Normal lives, normal stories, normal pasts. Nothing connecting them except one horrifying detail. The virus bounced off of them like rain hitting glass. The joining hit nearly 7 billion people simultaneously, and these 13 walked away untouched. The Hive poured billions of minds into analyzing their biology, searching for genetic quirks, trauma markers, hormone spikes, anything. For weeks, they found nothing. Worse, Carol started learning things she wasn't supposed to know. She learned that if she asked a direct question, the hive couldn't lie. She learned that if she pushed emotionally, the hive glitched violently. She learned that Zosa, their smiling emissary, would collapse entire continents' worth of joined bodies if Carol slipped into anger. She wasn't just immune to the joining. She was dangerous to the joined. A living paradox. The more they studied her, the more they realized the truth they didn't want. Carol wasn't a problem. Carol was a limit case. A piece of the universe that didn't fit their rules. But that changed in episode 6. And when it changed everything. The key that shouldn't exist. Episode 6 opens with a quiet revelation that feels almost too small to matter. The hive finally cracked the science. They know how to convert the immune. And the truth behind that method is so brutal, so biological, so intimate that it immediately explains why they couldn't
solve it earlier. The original virus, the one that swept through 7 billion people, was broadcast like a universal template. One design, one flavor, one blueprint for the entire species. But Carol's body rejected it. So did Manus. So did the child in Lotho. All 13 immune minds bounced the infection back. So the hive scientists built a new plan. To convert the immune, they must grow a custom virus from each person's own stem cells. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, literally. They need to take a sample of living bone marrow, decode that person's unique genetic rhythms, and engineer a personalized variant of the alien RNA, one tailored to their nervous system alone. Once that custom virus is inside, it spreads like wildfire. The psychic glue lights up, memories melt, emotions merge, and the line between me and us dissolves forever. You wake up inside the hive, still feeling like yourself, but with 7 billion voices breathing through your skull like soft wind. That's the conversion. That's the horror. And here's the twist. The hive already has the technology, already has the knowledge, already knows exactly how to do it. The only thing they don't have are the stem cells. And that's where biology turns into a cage, because the hive can't take them. The laws that lock the hive mind in place. By episode 5, Carol learns the truth about the hive, truths so strange they feel like religious commandments. They can't kill. They can't pluck fruit from trees. They can't pull vegetables from the ground. They can't slaughter animals. Their biology stops them cold. Their neurons refuse. Their bodies lock up. The new species that replaced humanity is physically incapable of taking life or harming anything living. Their entire food system runs on scavenging. If it falls, if it dies, if it breaks, they can eat it. Otherwise, they starve. That's why Carol walks into a cold storage warehouse full of human limbs stacked like frozen meat. Not murder victims, but scavenged bodies. HDP, human-derived protein. The hive turned the dead into nutrient powder and mixed it into amber-colored drinks.